Yeah.
Yeah.
So we talked about a little bit before, but you're a Mercer County Commissioner.
Yeah.
So walk us through that. So I want to focus on this too, because this seems to be not really, people get really confused on this issue. So what is the role of a county commissioner? Let's establish that first.
Okay. So first of all, you don't have to be a specific, you don't have to give up your day job, so to speak, to be a county commissioner in West Virginia. It is technically, by technicality, deemed a part-time job. I can assure you that is far from the truth. Some people take it as a part-time job, but if you do it right, it is another full-time job. Most people don't understand the roles of what the county does. I mean, the county lives within a Dillon's rule state, sort of in democracy. The county only operates in which the government in the state capital in Charleston allows for it to happen, meaning we don't dictate policies that aren't in West Virginia code. There's things that exist there that the counties can do, but probably for generations have not done. We don't do roads and bridges. There is a Department of Highways for that. We can't diversify tax revenue. The state dictates what we can do. Typically, that's on the residents, the constituents. It's not a fair way of doing taxation in 2026, but it's the system that we have. We can do ordinances. We can do zoning ordinances. We can do litter control. We can do a lot of different things. One of the most successful things we've done in the last few years is our dilapidated structures ordinance, where we've torn down dilapidation, to build up. I always say, you can do a lot of building up in your community by tearing a lot of things down. Because when you see blight and dilapidation every day, your mental status adheres to that. We could see that on the roads on the way from Mercer to McDowell. Anytime you look at where the coal fields were and see what remains, you can see times that people have forgotten, facilities that have gotten forgotten. So one of the major things that counties can do is we can work towards fixing that dilapidation. Those are things that are available. But when it comes to certain things about diversification of tax revenue, we don't really have an option. Counties are stuck basically saying, the stuff that we have in our assessments of your property tax, that's how you're taxed in the county. And then people want to know, well, what are you doing with my tax dollars? Well, I will tell you in Mercer County about we have a school levy that's voted on by the constituents. So 3/4 of our tax dollar goes to the school system. So what's remaining, the approximately, $10 million-ish in Mercer, $4 million of that goes to my law enforcement. $2.5 million goes to my jail bill, which is one of the most asinine things that we do, is to pay for that. Several reasons why we can get into that if you want. But then also our animal shelter. 3 things are about 70% of my allocations for the tax revenue. 3 things. That means we have to operate a county on 30% of the remaining revenue. That's very difficult to do. Whereas if we were to have, investment from corporations, things like that, that would give you more tax revenue. But, being in the coal fields and being in southern West Virginia, you typically have difficulties in which to do that. Difficulty recruiting, those other things. But we make do with what we have. We just kind of have to make the best of the seat that we're given.